Unprecedented. Eala, Victoria Mboko, Lois Boisson, and Maya joint nominate for top WTA award. Eala, Victoria Mboko, Lois Boisson, and Maya joint all nominated for same prestigious WTA award. It was a big season for rising stars on the WTA Tour, and several high-profile nominees are competing for the Newcomer of the Year award in the end-of-season WTA awards. Alongside a string of other awards, the 6 nominees for the Newcomer of the Year award were all announced on Monday. Here, we look at the 6 nominees and their impressive achievements in 2025. Mboko had not played a tour-level match before 2025, though she rose from outside the top 350 to inside the top 20 during the landmark breakthrough season. The standout of the 19-year-old's year was undoubtedly her stunning run to the WTA 1000 Canadian Open title, triumphing on home turf in Montreal and beating 4 major champions on the way. She would also crack the top 20 of the WTA rankings after winning her second WTA title at the Hong Kong Tennis Open, having reached round 3 of the French Open and round 2 of Wimbledon. Lois Boisson. Boisson produced the most surprising Grand Slam run of 2025, and one of the most surprising ever, at Roland Garros, the world number 361 defying the odds to reach the last 4 of her home major. The Frenchwoman became just the 5th woman to reach the semifinal on her maiden Grand Slam appearance, and would go on to win her first tour-level title in Hamburg. Having never previously been inside the top 100, the 22-year-old finished 2025 ranked at a career high of 36th in the world. Eala. Tennis trailblazer Eala made plenty of history throughout 2025, most notably becoming the first Filipino in the Open era to win a Grand Slam singles match, reaching round 2 of the U.S. Open. The 20-year-old also made her debut appearances at the French Open and Wimbledon this summer, all after her stunning breakout run at the Miami Open, beating 3 Slam winners on her way to the last 4. 2025 also saw Eala reach her first WTA Tour final in Eastbourne and win the WTA 125 title in Guadalajara, finishing the year at a new career-high ranking of world number 50. Maya joint. Now the Australian number 1, rising star joint will look to continue her fine 2025 form and continue her impressive rise across 2026, with her home major taking place in January. Turning down the chance to play college tennis, the 19-year-old won her first WTA Tour title in Rabat before beating Eala in a thrilling Eastbourne final to win her second career title. Finishing the year ranked 32nd in the world, all eyes will be on how far the talented Australian can surge throughout the coming 12 months. Iva Jovic. Long recognized as one of the hottest prospects in U.S. tennis, Jovic surged up the WTA rankings in 2025, beginning to establish herself in the senior game. The 17-year-old most memorably won the first WTA title of her career at the Guadalajara Open in September, propelling herself into the top 40, and also reaching round 2 of 3 slams this year. Jovic reached her career-high ranking of 33rd in October and finishes the year as the world number 35, up from her year-end 2024 ranking of 206th. Eala, a player who consistently climbed up the WTA rankings in 2025, German star Liz first broke through by reaching the 4th round of the Australian Open as a lucky loser back in January. The 23-year-old would then reach the 2nd round of the 3 remaining majors in 2025 and also reached her first WTA 1000 quarterfinal at the China Open, picking up her first top 10 win against Elena Rybakina, having ended 2024 down at 130th in the WTA rankings. Liz rose an impressive 90 places to end the 2025 season ranked 40th in the world. 4 rising stars, 1 stage. A creative tale of ambition, rivalry, and sisterhood. The announcement came on a quiet Wednesday morning, but its impact shook the tennis world like a sudden down-the-line winner. The WTA's Rising Star Award, an honor reserved for the young player who had defined brilliance, grit, and breakthrough, had 4 nominees this year. And for the first time in the award's history, the nominees formed a constellation so bright, so compelling, that reporters joked the trophy itself might melt under the pressure. Eala, Victoria Mboko, Lois Boisson, Maya joint. for names whispered in locker rooms, shouted in stadiums, and typed feverishly across social media. For young women from 4 different corners of the world, each carrying her own story, and each ready to prove she belonged on the sport's biggest stage. The invitation. It began with a letter. Eala, fresh off a grueling training block in Mallorca, returned to her apartment to find an envelope slid under her door. Cream-colored, embossed with gold accents. She slid it open with one flick of her thumb. "You are hereby nominated." Her heart stuttered. She read it again, slower this time, letting every word land. She knew her season had been strong. Her deep runs in mid-tier WTA tournaments, the unforgettable marathon match that lasted nearly 4 hours, the clutch wins that lit up the Philippines like fireworks. But the Rising Star Award? She had dreamed of it quietly, as athletes often do, half hoping, half guarding against disappointment. She exhaled, then smiled, a wide, unrestrained smile. "This is it," she whispered. Across the world, similar letters found their way to 3 other mailboxes. Victoria Mboko's momentum. In Toronto, Victoria Mboko was in the middle of tying her shoelaces when her mother burst into the room, her face glowing with excitement. She held the letter like a sacred artifact. "Vicky," she said breathlessly, "you made it." Victoria took the envelope carefully, her eyes scanning the words. She had spent the year surprising critics who thought she was still too raw. She battled through qualifiers, toppled seeds, and showed a presence on court, powerful, fearless, unshakably competitive. Now, as she stood in her living room with her nomination letter trembling in her hands, she felt a rush of gratitude and hunger. She wanted more. Lois Boisson's quiet flame. In Lion, Lois Boisson read her nomination with the same poised calm that she carried into matches. But inside, a flame burst to life. Her season had been built on patience, working her way into draws, enduring heartbreakingly narrow losses, then bouncing back with the stubborn resolve of someone who refused to disappear. France had embraced her as their next great hope, a player with superb finesse and the kind of creative shot-making that made fans hold their breath. But Lois had struggled at times with believing she deserved recognition. Now, the WTA had placed her name beside 3 of the most promising talents of her generation. She folded the letter neatly and allowed herself one private smile. Maya Joint, the wild-card wonder. In Perth, Maya Joint was doing what she always did on her rare days off, skateboarding near the beaches with headphones blasting Australian indie bands. When she returned home, sunburned and sandy, her father waved the envelope at her. "You might want to sit down,"